Hey everyone, Don and Ash here.
Hello.
Back for another reaction video. This time we're going to be checking out the Book of Lorath episode 4 called The End of Days. This was just released earlier today, about 7 hours ago now. So stoked to watch it.
I'm
this
I'm
one,
so excited.
yeah, this one is the final episode that we're going to hear Lorath narrate for now. This is the story of Tyrael, Leah, Diablo, and Malthael, which was the Reaper of Souls expansion for Diablo 3, basically. Leah. She's a character I don't like so much, but she is pretty integral to Diablo 3's story.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what little extra tidbits of information and backstory they may have for us, or if it's just going to be very like what we already know, very front facing, and just kind of like a summary more for new players. Who knows? But I'm so stoked that they released this and got it out in time for the early release, which is tomorrow starting at 7 p.m. EST. So if you don't know and this is your first time coming across us, you can join us both as we are venturing through Sanctuary. We will put the link for our multi-stream. We're going to be doing a dual stream. You can check us out at 7 o'clock tomorrow p.m. EST. We're going to be doing double stream, and you'll be able to chat with us both, watch us both as we venture through. And if it's your first time joining the Diablo universe, welcome on in. It's going to be a lot of fun, so be sure to check that out tomorrow.
Yes.
And I just can't wait to hear Lorath narrate in another episode of this, because they're so good.
Yeah, honestly, to say that like we have been enjoying these is like a huge understatement.
Big shout out to the three talents included in this. So Lorath, the voice of Lorath is Ralph Ineson. The illustration art adaptation is done by Lindsay Kerner, and the animator is Duncan Rawlings. And
they kill it every time.
Yeah, like every single time. It's so good. So like Blizzard just has some like I love so much of the talent at Blizzard, and they just have like some of the craziest, like all gaming like companies do.
Yeah,
they have
honestly.
just the craziest, most skilled employees, like artists. It's just, it's great. So without further ado, let's hop in and see what the End of Days is all about.
Come in, sit down. You've let all the bloody heat out.
So sorry.
This is the coldest night I can recall in these frozen wastes. I'm no chef, but I've managed to stew from what little food remains. Fortify yourself. This is the final story I have to tell you, and you will need your strength to endure. This is the tale of the End of Days. I told you of the brave heroes that defeated Diablo and Baal, and of the destruction of the World Stone and Mount Arreat by Tyrael, the Archangel of Justice. In the aftermath, his essence dispersed, and though no angel had done so before, Tyrael was able to restore his form in the realm of Pandemonium. After decades away, Tyrael returned to the high heavens. There he tried to convince his fellow members of the Angiras Council that they were meant to protect the innocent, and that the fate of humanity was pivotal to the future of the eternal conflict. However, they remained committed to their laws, leaving Tyrael no choice but to renounce his angelic nature, shedding his wings to embrace mortality before being cast out of the heavens. And so he fell willingly to Sanctuary, a shining star that landed in the ruins of Tristram Cathedral. New Tristram had established itself just outside the ruins of its predecessor, a thriving settlement, home to Deckard Cain and his young ward Leah. She was the daughter of Adria, who had once lived in Tristram, and grew into a wise young woman under Cain's mentorship. A group of adventurers from across Sanctuary set out to investigate the fallen star. Instead, they found a man who had lost his memory. In an effort to help this fallen stranger, Cain sent adventurers to recover the man's sword, broken and scattered in the surrounding lands. The quest would cost Deckard his life at the hands of Magda, the powerful leader of a fanatical coven devoted to Belial. With his last breaths, Cain managed to repair the stranger's sword. In doing so, he repaired Tyrael's memory, as well as the Sword of Justice itself, Eldraine. For this deed, and for many, many more, I believe history will judge Deckard Cain amongst the greatest Haradrim, representing the best of what the Haradric Order can be. His contributions to the Haradrim and to humanity cannot be overstated. The day he left us was a dark day for us all. In that moment of deep loss and grief, Leah was overcome by a dark power within herself. When the power burst free, it was strong enough to drive Magda away. This was the first sign that her destiny was cruelly marked by forces greater than any knew. After Cain's death, the adventurers Leah and Tyrael tracked Magda to Chaldeum, where, unbeknownst to them, Belial was impersonating the ruler of the region. Their pursuits ended in the dry deserts of Kyrgyzstan, where they confronted Magda and struck her down, avenging Cain's death. The heroes found another ally in Adria, Leah's mother, who wanted to help her daughter contain the growing darkness. She helped them uncover the location of the Black Soulstone, an extraordinary artifact created by the renegade Haradrim Zoltan Kul, which could trap multiple essences of both angel and demon, then permanently destroy them. Black Soulstone in hand, they confronted Belial and revealed his great deception. Defeating him, they sealed him inside this Soulstone prison. But, as we have seen time and time again, evil is never idle. Azmodan, the Lord of Sin, had undertaken an audacious invasion of Sanctuary, seeking the Black Soulstone for himself. All the great evils save he and Diablo had been trapped in the Soulstone, giving Azmodan an opportunity to become the prime evil. His vast demonic army erupted from Ariat Crater, the scar left behind by the Worldstone's destruction. The party hurried to aid the forces of Bastion's Keep, the only defense against Azmodan's forces. Though the fortress had been battered, the adventurers fought through legions of demons and overcame the Lord of Sin at the heart of the crater, sealing him in the Black Soulstone as well. It seemed as though the tide was turning in humanity's favor. But Adria had other plans. She had lied about the Black Soulstone, having used it to mark the souls of all 7 great evils for containment, while leaving Diablo unbound. The witch then offered Leah her own daughter as a vessel for Diablo's return, an act she had planned since her child's conception. When Aiden sought solace with her in Tristram, Adria had already pledged herself to the Lord of Terror's service. Under the guise of her care, she used the prince's torment to her advantage, allowing Diablo to deepen his hold on the prince. When he left as the Dark Wanderer, so too did Adria. Soon after, she bore his child, Leah, whom she left in Chaldeum under a friend's care. Children should not be punished for their parents' sins, no matter how grave they may be. From the moment of her birth, Leah's fate was tied inextricably to Diablo, his essence part of her creation. With Adria's betrayal revealed, Diablo seized control of the Black Soulstone, using it to channel the essences of all the Lords of Hell into himself. Brimming with power, he twisted Leah's body into a new horrific form, the Prime Evil. With his newfound strength, he set his eyes on a prize far greater than our world, the utter destruction of the High Heavens. With his unheralded power, the Lord of Terror breached the diamond gates of the High Heavens. He single-handedly routed Imperius, leader of the Angiras Council, with barely a thought. The Prime Evil opened hell rifts inside the Silver City, unleashing the minions of the Burning Hells, leaving him to continue towards the Crystal Arch. As demons ravaged the Silver City, the heroes came to Heaven's aid. They fought their way through hordes of demonkind, aiding the heavens where they could, and soon arrived atop the Silver Spire to battle Diablo himself. Against all odds, the Prime Evil was defeated, his essence trapped in the Black Soulstone. Tyrael returned to the Angiras Council as a mortal, now embodying the aspect of wisdom. And for a moment, it seemed like Sanctuary might see peace. But, as you know well, peace does not last. All was not well with the High Heavens. Decades before Diablo's assault on the High Heavens, Malthael had abandoned the Council, the Heavens, and his position as the aspect of wisdom. The ravages of the eternal conflict must have taken their toll on Malthael's mind. I often wonder what he saw had convinced him to forsake wisdom for death. Malthael had long desired an end to the eternal conflict, and finally saw his chance with Diablo's defeat. With the 7 great evils gone, he turned his attention to humanity. But Malthael was not interested in winning our hearts and minds. His solution was far simpler, far colder. To Malthael, humanity would never be more than demon spawn, and for the eternal conflict to reach its conclusion, all demonkind needed to be eradicated. But to achieve his ultimate goal, Malthael had to retrieve the Black Soulstone, which was now in the hands of what remained of the Haradrim. I likely owe my life to Eldarin. In that first confrontation with Malthael, in the black tunnels of the tomb of Rakis, I faced death himself. As my brethren fell and died, I was protected behind a magical shield that Tyrael raised using his sword. When we emerged onto the city streets, we were met with horror beyond comprehension.
Oh my god!
Prize in hand, Malthael and his reapers laid waste to Westmarch. The grisly slaughter I witnessed there nearly destroyed me. They were harvesting the souls of the people. With each death, Malthael grew more powerful. Malthael soon took the Black Soulstone to the Pandemonium Fortress, where he began to manipulate its power. Struggling to find where he had gone, the adventurers turned to the only person on Sanctuary who might know Malthael's location, the traitor Adria. The witch, however, did not wish to cooperate, and transformed into a terrifying monster empowered by blood magic. Delivering final justice against Adria's betrayal, they struck down the abomination and set out for the Pandemonium Fortress to confront Malthael. By the time they arrived, it was too late. Malthael had already sent the Black Soulstone to Sanctuary, and it was fulfilling its dark purpose, tearing the demonic essence out of every single person. Freeing the spirits of their own kin and leaders, the heroes became one with death, and were finally able to fight against Malthael on even ground. A great battle ensued, and in a last-ditch effort to secure victory, Malthael shattered the Black Soulstone to take on the power of the great evil still trapped inside. The heroes valiantly rallied in defense of Sanctuary, the power of the spirits within allowing them to defeat death itself. The aftermath of Malthael's use of the Black Soulstone saw Tyrael gone from Sanctuary and countless dead. What happened to Diablo remains a mystery that haunts me. I chose solitude and ale over futile efforts to bring light back into our world. But there are times, such as this, where I feel hope struggling to take root once more. But to hope for salvation while doing nothing to attain it brings only ruin. I have learned this many times over. Judge a person by their actions, not their words. Lilith has returned. You sense the daughter of hatred in the growing shadows, as do I. I can no longer fight with steel and blood, but perhaps the knowledge I've shared will act as an armor in your own battle with the coming darkness. Take care, young scholar, wherever your path may lead you. I hope for your sake, it leads down a different path than mine.
Let's go!
WTF, that was so good. I'm like, oh man, that was so good. I just don't even know. Wow, like
I'm like, where do we start?
Yeah, the part where he was talking about being behind the shield that Tyrael put up. First of all, I'm gonna cry. Like I'm almost gonna cry because that's just like the story writing is like the most beautiful thing. Like I'm getting those same feels like I got from like when we watched the game date release trailer. I'm just like,
yeah,
I've been playing this game my whole life,
yeah,
and they still. How is it that it's just? There are tears in my eyes. I don't even know. Like this is.
I feel like I've had goosebumps for the last like 10 minutes. Especially when we found that part out, and like I can picture that cinematic so vividly too, and like I can excuse me, I can like hear like Tyrael say like, "Fine, the Nephilim," and like, oh my gosh, all my endorphins right now.
I'm like, what the hell?
You're just
yeah. I'm done, man. My excitement for this, like, I honestly can't even state, and I have no idea. Like, Diablo 3 came out however many years ago, like, more than like 8 years ago.
It's like 10 or 12 years ago or something. Yeah. 2012.
And I still, like, I had no idea that was Lorath. I think a lot of us had no idea that was Lorath. Maybe like the deep lore divers.
Maybe
knew, but like, God damn. Like, I honestly, I'm just like, I want to go back. Like, okay, as far as much as I don't like Diablo 3, and the player experience of Diablo 3, the cinematics and the story is top tier.
Yeah.
And like, the cinematics, especially when they were talking about Diablo going to the high heavens, and dude, when he fights Imperius, oh my god, it is so sick. I can't wait. I'm gonna cry. Like, I'm gonna actually break down and cry when it comes to cinematics in D4.
Actually, yes.
Oh no, yeah,
like, that's like inevitable.
It's gonna happen, and people are gonna be like, "What's wrong with this guy?" I can already see.
So beautiful.
I can already see the comments. Like, I just don't even know. That was sick. That was so sick. Yeah. What, like?
It's not just a game, man. There's so much depth to this, and like, I know as many as there may be people that are like, don't get it, there's gonna be so many people that do, and like, man, I'm just so stoked.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the next like 10 years of memories and stuff like that, and all the expansions and wherever they're gonna do, you know, wherever they're gonna go with the story.
Yeah.
The animation on this was sick. I at first I was like, okay, this is all known. This is all, they're just doing like
a recap.
Basically a recap of the whole thing. And then like
they just snuck that in there.
Yeah, that was like mind breaking. Like, that was absolutely mind breaking. I'm like, I'm gonna go watch that cinematic right now, because honestly, this was the most beautiful way to wrap up the summary of the last 3 games of Diablo.
Yes,
honestly.
incredibly. Yes.
I don't even know how you guys stuck it into 4 episodes. Top tier.
I also want to know, for anyone watching, let us know, like, you had that moment too. Oh. Like, I want to know you had that moment too.
My brain is broken. I'm gonna have like a mental breakdown now. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, I'm more storked. I'm more stoked than ever to get into the game tomorrow and like continue on the adventure with Lorath and finding out more about. He's like one of the comments said in one of the other videos. I would never have expected Lorath to take up the mantle of Cain.
Yeah.
And this was also a beautiful homage to Cain, you know, passing on. I think that they narrate it beautifully, and yeah, when Cain passed, it was a dark day, not just in a game, and not just like, he's a fictional character that so many people care about so much. Like, it's just silly. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Cain has such a cult following, and there is no other character that could have done justice.
Yeah.
I didn't even expect
anyone to fill that shoe.
Honestly, because we don't even talk about other Haradrim generally. We talk
that's true.
The only Haradrim we talk about is what's his name? Who trapped Baal in his forehead or whatever. Oh my god! Like, I'm literally broken right now. Yeah, like the leader of the Haradrim.
Like, it's just with an A. I don't remember.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
My brain's like broken. I just can't think. But
yeah,
we only ever talk about him, and then just to find out more members of the Haradrim is sick. And like, yes, I think we can all agree that Cain was undoubtedly just as important as the leader of the Haradrim.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I really hope that the Haradrim somehow in Diablo 4 comes back as like this secretive organization who's really still been working on it, even though their numbers even though their numbers have like dwindles and stuff like that. Like, they're still like, no, we're coming back and we're keeping it together. That'd be so sick. And they came up with like a new leader or something.
Yeah.
Like, bruh.
Yeah, and I do think at one point Lord says, yeah, there's not many of them left. So like, Where are you?
Yeah, they're hiding out there, so it's gonna be sick to learn more about them.
Honestly, like, even though, because we obviously we played the betas, so like we've done Fracture Peaks and stuff, like we've ran into Lorath already, but like when I see him, I feel like I just gotta be like, hey buddy, like I know your story now. Like, I don't care how cheesy that is. I'm just like, having a little piece of information is just like very cool.
No, it was so sick. Yeah, it was so sick to learn that. What a rug pull. What a pleasant rug pull. I honestly think this would have so many more views. I think that so many more people should. It's just over 100,000 views right now, and I think that so many more people should watch this, because I definitely know that there are so many more Diablo fans out there. They had like record numbers for the beta and stuff like that. And if you haven't watched this, I don't know what to say. It's your first time watching this, I guess. I don't know what to say. It's the greatest thing ever. So hats off to the team, honestly.
Yeah.
Sick. Tomorrow's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. I'm stoked. Anybody who's into the Diablo universe is stoked. We're all stoked. And we're sitting here chattering at the teeth, and like legs are bouncing up and down, counting.
It's been so long.
Counting down the last 21 hours, I think it is now, until the game releases. So let's get it. Looking forward to tomorrow. If you guys liked watching this with us, expect so much more Diablo content to come out.
Yeah.
In the coming weeks, in the coming months, and the coming years, to be honest, because I really expect to be playing this game for a long time.
Definitely.
And yeah, if you liked our reaction to this, I guess, please join us on liking, sharing, and especially subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one. All right.
Bye.